we'll go into questions for the players. When we're done with the players, we'll dismiss them and go into questions for coach. When you're ready, coach.
Today was great atmosphere. Loved having, we had 11,563, and I don't know, I think 10,000 maybe kids. So just a great experience, hopefully for all those kids, and we gave them a pretty good game to watch in terms of scoring. So hopefully they had fun with that. I know last year we scored 100 on Kids Day too. So they were chanting. I think we were like 20 some points away, and they were counting down already. So they worked on their math skills, which was a good thing for them since they got out of school. But no, overall, just it's always great to see your whole bench get to play and get experience and get game experience and minutes. And a lot of people stepped up, but I thought we came out and took care of business right away. And that's something that we talked about. We need to come out here and not mess around and take care of business, defend like we know we want to defend, really get our transition going, which we did. We had 24 points in Phoenix, our transition in the first half, which is something that we are really intentional about. So I really liked our start, and then I thought the second half, our bench came in and did a great job of just sustaining and then really propelling us to be able to finish, obviously, with a huge victory.
Questions for the players? We've got Kendall, Bostic on the left, Shay, Bollin on the right.
So for both of you guys, it was a huge crowd, very loud atmosphere. What emotions came along with today's game and all the extra support from the fans?
Definitely joy. It's my favorite game of the year, I think, for sure, just because all those kids are excited to be there. They don't care if you score a point, they don't care about anything. They just want you, they're just excited to be there. And so I really enjoyed it a lot. I do student teaching, so my school was there, so it's kind of cool to get to see the kids I see every day. But yeah, it just brought another level of energy for us and kept us going.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, and also it was really great to have that volume in there just to practice for the bigger games. Because it's harder to hear when there's a huge crowd, and that's what we want every game. But it was just really special. I think I can remember being younger and looking up to so many different college basketball players and being at different games and being so excited to be there. So I think just kind of for us, getting to be those people now where the kids all wanted to hug us after the games and we're running over to take pictures. It was just a really special feeling.
Yeah, Shay, you had a stretch of 10 straight there in that fourth quarter. What would that mean to you to get that going again for the first time in a while?
Yeah, I think I finally just felt like I was just playing, and that's something I've really been working through, and I've been working really hard on it. Struggling with injuries and then also going through the transfer process. I've been working a lot on my mind and just getting mentally tough and a lot stronger, and that's something all of my coaches have been preaching to me. But going into the second half, my assistant coach, Coach Kat, came over to me and he was like, just play free, have fun. And I kind of just felt my mindset shift, and I was like, I don't know what I'm stressing about. I just need to play, and just went out there and had fun. Also seeing my teammates succeed was so exciting for me. Corey Allen was unbelievable. I would say for her too, it was kind of a breakthrough moment. So just kind of seeing that and seeing the joy that it brought her and my other teammates, kind of just felt that onto myself. So.
Kendall, building off of comment on Corey Allen, what did you see from her tonight, or limited in her minutes? As a young player on this team, what did you see from her?
I was so beyond proud of her today. She hasn't played a whole lot yet, so I think this was a really good game for her to get in and just kind of get a feel for the game. And especially as a freshman, you get in these games and the pace of the game is so different. So, and she's been doing great, and I always tell her she needs to be confident, because in pickup and practice, this girl tears us up every day, and then she comes in a game and she won't shoot. So I was so proud of her today for just being attacking. She had a different mindset, and kind of like Shay said, she probably had that mentality shift of oh, I can play here, I can play with these people. So just to kind of see her thrive and see her get excited was really special.
Shay, for somebody that hasn't gone through an injury like that, what was the hurdle for you? What was kind of the mental hurdle for you that you had to get over?
Yeah, well, for me, in my situation, I had 2 surgeries back to back in 2 years, and just it was really hard. I'm someone who loves basketball, as we all do, but I've really loved the game. I just breathe and live for the game, so I always want to be playing, and so for me that was also not tough physically, but really tough for me mentally. So kind of coming back from that, just like learning to trust your body and trust the work you put in. I do a ton of extra strength training and stuff just to like, and thank God I am back to that point now, but like it was a struggle for a little while. Like getting back from injury is really, really hard. So for anyone going through that, you know, like props to them because it takes a lot of work. But, you know, as you kind of do it, you'll realize like your body is so used to playing, and since you work at it so much, like it comes back pretty naturally. So just working through that was hard, but I feel like now I'm at a place where it's not a problem. So.
Shay, you knocked down your first career college three-pointer today, and you knocked down two in the span of like 30 seconds. So was there a sense of relief to kind of see those first kind of couple fall?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so thankful that I have coaches who, you know, continue to push me to shoot and continue to tell me to look for my offense even if I wasn't making them. But knowing that the first one goes in always makes it better. But I would say like just I'm working on still having confidence, like even if the first one doesn't go in, like I know I'm a shooter and I can make them. So just continuing to kind of be there. And that's something that Coach Green always preaches, like just be confident in yourself. If you're open, shoot it. And so that's kind of just the mindset that I had.
Shay, do you remember a moment when you kind of felt like you'd gotten back maybe in practice to where you wanted to be? And I guess what's that process kind of like of just, you know, not getting as many minutes as you like, you know, and then how do you kind of keep yourself ready for the moment when you have that opportunity? Yeah,
I would say it takes a lot of mental work, just because physically, like, I'm confident in the work I put in on my own, and we all are a team that works really, really hard. But like my first day at practice at Illinois, I just remember a flip kind of went off in my head. Just being here, I feel super mentally supported, physically supported, and I know my coaches have my back at all time. Another thing that's really big is just like having open communication with them. So like I don't have different questions. I always know what I need to do to get better. And so, yeah, can you repeat the second part of your question?
And just, you know, how do you kind of keep yourself ready, for that moment whenever you're going to get a chance to get that opportunity? Yeah, I think it's just really important to remember on the bench to like stay focused on whatever is happening in the game and not worry about anything else. But just kind of stay locked in, watch the person that you're going to be going in for. Remembering the actions in your head, and something I always do is like always try to call out like what coverage we're in or just like what offense we're running, so like I can kind of get those mental reps even if I'm not in the game, and then when I go in just try to come in with a lot of energy.
Kendall, obviously, I mean, we hear Shay talk a lot when she's out there. What does she add to you guys from that respect, and even just from a basketball standpoint?
Yeah, she adds a lot of energy, like having someone else, you know, like I take a lot of pride in my talking because I know like it's our job to protect the guards, it's our job, we see everything, so to have someone else that does that, it's a huge relief off of me, especially in practice. But it's good to hear like somebody, because it just kind of, I think, settles everybody, so she's someone that, you know, is constantly talking, knows what's going on, so like you don't really have to think as much when she's out there. But yeah, she's brought so much to this team, just like the energy, the rebounding, like she's always going 100%. Like there's not a rep that she takes off, and just kind of that kind of like ferociousness is, I think, she brings a lot to us.
Kendall, after a hard-fought game on Saturday, what kind of stuff do you maybe look to work on when the score isn't as close in games like this, and not really letting your foot off the gas?
I think it's just a lot of the little things, like, you know, the game of Marquette, we had a lot of like meticulous details that we had in our game plan that we didn't really follow as the game went on. So I think in these games, just kind of, you know, repeating the coverage, like getting kind of like Shay said, like those mental reps even when you're not in. So just kind of, you know, we had some screening coverages today that we didn't really follow, and just kind of communicating that. I think it's a lot of those like little things, and like boxing out, like obviously like these guys shouldn't get rebounds over us, so just taking the time to really work on like getting those reps of boxing out, because once we get to the Big Ten, like those girls are going to be 6'5", 6'6", not 6 foot. So just kind of those little things that are going to help us in the long run.
That's for both of you. A big game against Notre Dame on Saturday. What can an increase for you, Kendall? You seem like the non-conference schedule get a little more difficult. What can that do for you guys getting into Big Ten play?
I think it just kind of helps with kind of that like mental shift going into conference play, because it can be hard sometimes when you play like a really bad team and then go straight to like a really good team. So I think kind of having that up a little bit in the non-conference schedule will just kind of help. Like, we're already in the mentality of like, okay, we have specific plays for specific coverages. We have these people we have to stop, and we have, you know, these things we're doing on these people. So I think it just kind of puts us in a more competitive mindset initially. So I think it helps a lot.
Yeah, something I would also add is something we've been really focusing on this whole season is to not play any different regardless of who we're playing. So like our mindset needs to be the exact same going into any game regardless of who it is, if they're the worst team or the best team in the NCAA. So that's something we've really been trying to do, and like we work just as hard in practice every day. Our practice players are amazing and they help us a lot. So just kind of be able to treat every single game the same regardless of who we're playing. I think it's just going to give us more of a successful outcome rather than maybe playing down to competition, which is something we've been working on.
Everybody good for the players?
Coach, we saw Gretchen go down early, I believe, in the first quarter. Is there any update on that? It looked like an ankle injury.
Yeah, we don't know yet, so hopefully we'll know soon of what it is, and hopefully she gets better. You know, it'll probably be day to day of her progression.
Just how rewarding is it for a coach to see Shay, you know, and Corey Allen just kind of get the reward for maybe some practice time and finally get to that opportunity to kind of shine?
Yeah, it's hard. You know, I say it all the time, and I tell them, like, being a freshman or being, you know, in your first year as a transfer, it's hard. Everything's new, and, you know, you're learning a whole new system. You're learning, you know, my expectations, our standards. There's just so much. So to be able to see, you know, them get an opportunity. And I say it all the time, like, just you gotta stay ready, because you just never know. I mean, we've seen that. We've had injuries. We have had, you know, another injury. So you gotta be ready. And today, you know, even at half, I got on a little bit because I thought our bench could have had a little bit more juice, a little bit more energy coming off. And then, you know, they responded. So I love to see that. And I see it. I know their potential. They want to be here. We wouldn't have recruited them. I know what they're capable of. So, you know, hopefully these are just steps in the right direction of, you know, this, okay, now you came in and had some success in a game and leads to some confidence. And now when you go back in and again, maybe it's a tighter game, you know, hopefully this will help and prepare them to go in with a more confident mindset. And just play the game. And I've been telling everyone that, our team the last few games, just play. You know, you gotta trust your training. Don't overthink this game. Just go out there and play free and have fun and just play. Because I think sometimes we get so tight, we start overthinking everything, and that's just, we're not gonna be the best versions of ourselves as this team by playing that way. So I'm really proud of all of our bench, and especially those two that kind of had the, you know, bigger games.
I know you have a goal of allowing 10 points or fewer in a quarter. But today, 3 different times tonight, allowed 3 field goals in the second half. How would you just assess the defense today?
You know, I thought our defense was a lot better. They got some shots, they missed some shots. You know, so I think it's a combination. It's hard. I got to go back and watch, because like I told the team after, I don't care if we win by 70 or if we win, you know, by 7 or we lose, like we attack and evaluate the same exact way. So there's going to be things that I probably don't like about our defense, and then there's going to be a lot of really good things, and we'll look at that, and then we'll get back to it tomorrow and prepare for Notre Dame.
You said before with Shay, even in the preseason, I know what she's capable of, but when somebody goes under the knife like that more than once in that short of a period of time, were you ever concerned about what if she's not the same player she was in high school, and how is she going to react to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always, it's always out there, right? You don't know, because she hadn't played, she had multiple surgeries, and the biggest thing with that is just she hasn't played in a while. So really, a game like this is really important for her, because you got to just go out there and get in a game. And like she said, she just you kind of get all your natural tendencies back, where in sometimes practice it can't simulate that as well. So I think what Shay needed was a game like this, and to just go out there and play, see the ball go through the net, you know, see some success, and hopefully this will just kind of springboard her and her confidence. But yeah, there's always a big question mark. You don't know, you know, and that's just part of it. You take a risk and you believe in the process, you believe in the people we have here that can continue to help her get better. And so it makes me really happy when someone like Shay has success, because she just, you guys heard her, she's such a good kid. She's put so much work into it. You just want her to do well.
Coach, you talked about Cameron recently always being active, always being ready. What did you think of her performance today?
I thought she was solid like always. You know, Cameron's been great. You know, she's come in, she's done her job. You know, she played 28 minutes tonight, 6 assists, only 2 turnovers. So those are things with me. I'm always telling her, lead our team, run our team, defend, and take care of the basketball. And if she does that out there, and she, you know, she always will hit open shots. I know if she's, you know, I don't worry as much about the scoring with Cam and the role that we need her in. So what I've wanted of her and asked of her, she's been absolutely great at doing that these last few games, and we're going to need her going in.
Shay talked a lot about the confidence and the mental part of her game. I'm just like, were there points or a point that you saw that maybe start to come together for her since getting here, even in the last few weeks of practice?
I just think every day you see, with a lot of these kids, you see certain things and you see some improvements. You know, you see, you know, her doing different things in a practice, or taking shots here, and just how you take the shot. You know, I can see when they're confident or when they're not. You know, she just wants to be great, and she's a sponge, and she's always asking. She's goes every day. She gets in before and is working on her defensive slides. You know, because we're saying defense, you got to continue to improve on that, which she does, because I know her offense, what she's capable of doing. So, but every day she's in there working 10, 15 minutes just on defensive slides with our coaches. So that shows the work ethic she has, the mindset she has, how determined she is. So I don't think there's one particular moment. And then she's also doing the work, like she said, with her mindset. I mean, we have a sports psychologist with our team, and who I had hired this year, and she's always with her and working on different things that she can get better, you know, from the mindset perspective.
Is there any update on Makira's timeline? And then how have you seen others kind of fill in the gap for her, both on and off the court?
Yeah, Makira continues. I know you guys probably sick of me here. I'm like a broken heart. She's day to day. Yeah. We all want her out there as much as, I think we're on the same page with that. I just think that it's, you know, I keep trying to be very optimistic in this, because as coaches, obviously, you don't want anyone to get hurt. You don't want that. I don't want that for our team, for any team. And then obviously it's made an impact when you're leading scorer, your point guard, the ball's in her hands so much. Like I would sit up here and be lying if I said it hasn't affected our team. Now I do think, though, I know our team will be better because of this. We went an extended period now without her. A lot of people have had to step up in terms of just their production on the court, you know, Jen running more point, or Jen having to score more, or, you know, so-and-so Jada having to, you know, defend another player that maybe a Makira would. There's so many different things that, you know, I've asked them to do, and they've done it. So, and then just from a leadership perspective, Makira and KB are probably our 2 most vocal players. And Makira, just now having her back around the team in practice, has added new energy in practice. So I can't wait to be healthy 100% and get her back and get Gretchen back. But, you know, this was adversity. I think that with adversity, you get better. And you have 2 options. You can sit and feel sorry for yourself, or you can just come all together and keep it moving. And I think that that's what this team has done, and that's the type of people that we are. So we'll be better for this. It just is tough in the moment, but no doubt it'll make us stronger.
Just kind of looking ahead at Notre Dame, what was the kind of the process of getting this game organized, and just the opportunity to be on NBC, you know, on a Saturday? What kind of does that afford your team to be in that spotlight?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, because we were just looking, I've always thought Notre Dame was, you know, we scrimmaged them last year, and I always saw it with the proximity. I'm like, this is you know, we want to ramp up our schedule. I'm like, this is a good game that we should start playing. And so I think we reached out, or, you know, we were talking, and Kat does all our scheduling, and they brought it to our, hey, would you guys be interested in this game? And then they told me kind of the background of it. I'm like, let's do it. This is a great opportunity. I wanted to play him anyway, so now we're gonna play him on a neutral court, and you're gonna have all the other stuff that's involved in this. It's a very unique opportunity in terms of just the luncheon and hearing from, all the women leaders, and then having the community service, opportunity with Notre Dame. I think there's a lot of really cool things, especially at this time of the year, right around Thanksgiving, to be able to give back to the youth there. So I think that's awesome. And then, again, the opportunity to play on national TV against a top 20 team. They started 10, I know what they are now. But a really good team on a neutral floor. So I can't wait. And I think our players, are super excited about this opportunity. And I think it's a great one.
Coach, going down that same Notre Dame track, you have a really big score today. Your starters are on the bench in the fourth quarter. What are you telling them to make sure they're ready for a game like that on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like with a game like this, I could have put our starters back out there, but in my mind, as we're already down 2, I'm thinking, let's just get through this game without another injury. So that's why I decided to just I'm like, this is a great opportunity to get some other guys experience. So that's why I kept all those guys on the bench. But then there's also things that I'm like, kind of needed them out there a little bit because I wanted to see if we could get better at some things. But so, it's great. And then no matter what happens this game, like I have to just come back to tomorrow's a new day. So no matter what happened to this game, whether, they got rest or they didn't, we got a 2-day prep. And we're gonna practice 2 days. Normally we've been having a day off and then a 2-day prep with all of our games. So this is our first game where we actually just have a 2-day prep without a day off in between. So that's where I come back to, it probably helped us with not having those guys playing a ton of minutes. So we'll get back at it, and then we leave right away tomorrow, which is also unique. We're going out a day earlier than normal for a normal road game.
Just to be clear, when you are a fully healthy Illinois, whenever that day comes, is Cameron potentially carved out a role for herself even in that scenario where I know how many people you like to play in a rotation, but it seems like you were counting on her for something even in the preseason?
Yeah, I do think so. I really do. And think about even, you guys know, think about last year, there's a lot of times where, we either got in some foul trouble, or who knows what happened. So I think now this has been, what a great experience she's had. I know she's confident from it, and I know I'm more confident in her doing this. So there's trust being built, and that's all on her about going out like she did, and credit to her. She played, she's playing great. So no doubt about it that she's still gonna have a big impact, on this team and as we go along. And that's where I say that holistic look and positive look of where this could help us, because if, maybe I wish Makara never got hurt, but, Cam might not have gotten those minutes, and then when we needed her, maybe she's not ready. Trying to be positive.
It's just unrelated to today here for you guys. Ryan got his first win at Akron this afternoon. I guess, what's it been like for you to see him step into that head coach? I just don't know how often you two still communicate, and just what's it been like for you?
Yeah, no, we talk, mostly through text, or we'll talk here and there. I was watching a little bit of it just to get my mind off of the game beforehand. So it was I think it was tied when I stopped watching it. So that's awesome that he got that first one. Yeah, he texted me after they went into double overtime or something his first game, and I was watching it, and he texted me and actually thanked me because he did our end game and all of our end game stuff and for us. So he said that it helped him not be too nervous. That's a PG version. What he really said when he was actually a head coach now having to do that. And then he said, how do you not get headaches every game? I'm like, stress is undefeated. Stress is going to get you, Ryan. So, no, it's been great. And like I said, there is no one pulling for him more than I am. So.
Everybody good?